TIFUpdate by giving my ex money to surprise my boys. This is a proper update to my original post, so before you say, "You posted this a million times," my posts have been re-uploaded on multiple subs, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. It's annoying, but I cannot control it. This is my update, and I updated on another sub but thought I would share it here because it's the OG. My first post was about how my ex stole money, destroyed my non-verbal twins' communication tablets, and was going to get away with it. I had to go to 3 different police stations to report it, and despite what 2 cops said, I wasn't going to call it even. I officially filed a report on my destroyed property. I filed in civil court and knew it was going to take a while, but I wasn't giving up. When the repo man came knocking on my door looking for my ex, I gave him the address to her new place and where her new job was because no one would rat on her. It took less than an hour for her car to get towed. Sweet, petty revenge. I received a call from an officer asking me if I had been paying my girlfriend's insurance and wanted confirmation that it was up to date. I told him I didn't have a girlfriend, but it sounded like it could be my ex. She had gotten pulled over and she couldn't provide her car insurance card, but she said her boyfriend, me, had been paying it. This bitch actually thought I was still paying it. I told the cop no, she had stolen from me, and I had cut ties with her. Long story short, she was in possession of a controlled substance, driving with no insurance, driving with a suspended license, and FTA, theft fourth. The last charge was because she was stupid enough to still have the tablets in the car despite them being busted. The serial numbers matched, and while I'm not getting them back, it's a criminal charge versus civil now. I looked up her arrest record and found out she has an alias of T-Bone. I haven't laughed so hard in a long time. Something I knew nothing about and can't help but want to thank her for stealing from me because I wouldn't have walked away. As pathetic as that is, I met her right after my daughter died and I ignored the red flags. She was excellent at hiding things because I never saw her take a drug once. Little did I know I was living with T-Bone the Thug. TLR. A proper update about my fuck-up for giving my ex-birthday money for my twins. T-Bone the tablet destroyer got arrested and charged. Looks like T-Bone got boned. Hopefully she gets some nice prison time. Stealing money is one thing, but destroying communication tablets for someone's kid is just another level of evil. You should also contact the district attorney's office. In many states, a conviction will also include orders to pay restitution. Whoa, didn't think I'd see this update. Good for you, man. Hope you and your boys are doing good. Bitch got what she deserved, but next time when you gonna hook up with some crazy chick like that, look deep down in the mirror and think not twice, not 3 times. Maybe stay there for like 15-20 minutes and just think, if getting your dick wet is worth more than all the troubles after ignoring the red flags. She got what she deserved. Today I fucked up by being chronically dehydrated. This has been going on for the past few months and I just now realized and resolved it. I'm terrible at drinking enough water and I also walk a decent amount. I don't have a car and I walk on average 13,000 to 15,000 steps a day. I own a shop, so I'm usually carrying packages to USPS or the UPS store, sometimes 15-25 pounds of packages. I was drinking like a tiny drop of water per day but drink tons of coffee, so I figured that was good enough. Reader, it was not good enough. Anyway, the past 2-3 months, I've had headaches every single day. My rotator cuff has been killing me. If I turn the wrong way or reach the wrong way, it would shoot pain up through my neck, and I was dizzy. If I turned over in bed too quickly, the room would feel like it was rushing in on me. I started getting freaked out after a couple months of consistent headaches and dizziness. I had this horrible fear that I had developed a brain tumor, which made me not want to go to the doctor because I was afraid of my prognosis. I started Googling and I was getting everything from kidney failure to diabetes to brain tumor. My dad asked me, "Are you drinking enough water?" I thought about it and realized I only pee like 2-3 times a day, so I Googled chronic dehydration and decided to immediately increase my water intake. Within 2-3 days, the headaches and dizziness were gone and my rotator cuff is back to normal. The downside is, I thought I had an iron bladder cause I never woke up during the night to pee, but turns out I never had anything in it. So now I'm waking up peeing every night. Too long did not read. Got so dehydrated I thought I had a brain tumor. Mom thinks I'm an idiot. Get used to frequent peeing for a while. It takes some time for your bladder to adjust to all that water it's getting. Throughout my whole military career, people always said, "Drink water," when someone expressed a problem they had, physically or emotionally. I thought they were just being a smart ass. Gotta be a good hydrohomie. This is actually incredibly common. A lot of people drink the majority of their fluids through dehydrating beverages like coffee and soda, so even though they've quenched their thirst, their bodies are still dehydrated. Biggest drawback for me in working from home. I just don't think to drink water, or anything, while I'm home. Weekends would be maybe 4 p.m. and hadn't had a sip other than morning coffee. Always drank plenty in the office. So last few years I've definitely woken up to sober hangovers, as I'd call them, from lack of water intake. Tried various apps, would remind me to drink every hour. Humbug, they're easily snoozed, skipped. Doing a bit better, but definitely not today, so thanks for the reminder to chug this big cup of water and refill it. One thing that really helped me with this same issue was carrying a refillable water bottle everywhere. Usually when I'm working, either at the office or from home, I'll look at it randomly and just take a drink. Also, as gross as it might be, pay attention to the color of your pee. If it's yellow, up the water intake. I do wish I didn't have to wake up every night to pee though, but I'm glad I don't have dehydration issues. Today I fucked up by lying to my teacher that I like someone else in front of my crush. Teacher: is there anyone you like at school? Me: looking at my crush, panicking. No, teacher. Ha, you like someone outside of school? Me: no, teacher. No, you certainly like someone. Come on, tell me who you like. Me: I like someone in Cyprus, country I always go for holidays. I didn't actually like anyone from Cyprus. I was just panicking, and wanted to shut down this conversation as soon as possible. Anyway, soon I went to Cyprus for holidays, and then came back to school. Teacher: again in front of her. How's this girl from Cyprus? Crush. Looks at me. I feel like she became more distant after it, still very friendly but doesn't return same amount of energy as before. I don't know how should I explain all this to her and what should I really do. I haven't even told her about my feelings yet. I feel sad because I said this, and she heard, and I don't know if she will believe even if I tell her. This is so unrealistic. Also, I'm angry towards this teacher whose head looks like an egg. Too long did not read. Just read the heading. You tell her the exact truth. That there isn't anyone in Cyprus, that you made it up because he put you on the spot and that you really like her. Then you respond based on her reaction. Done. If she doesn't feel the same, move on. That teacher sure seems to be overstepping. That seems wildly inappropriate. As a retired teacher, WTF? This was not something your teacher should have even asked, let alone hounded on. That's not appropriate whatsoever. That's shockingly creepy behavior. First off, your teacher is weird. Second, just tell your crush how you feel or ask her out on a date or something. She's not going to say no because she thinks you like some girl you rarely see. If you guys hit it off, tell her this whole story and she will think it is funny and endearing. Teacher should not have put you in that spot. Today I fucked up by taking my dog to work. About a month ago, I finally got COVID, which isn't the point of the story. But between that, and winter, I have not taken our dog out for many walks in the last month. And I was feeling really guilty about it. So today I convinced myself it would be a good idea, for him, not me, to take him into my office. We allow dogs in the workplace. I knew it would make my day more challenging, because I've taken him before and he doesn't calm down, and I also get constant interruptions from people who want to pat him. He's only a little over a year ago and still really a puppy. He's a Groodle and they're known to be extremely playful. So anyway, today, I took him into work. The first challenge is he gets car sick and usually vomits on the long drive to work. Or more specifically, just after arrival, both directions. Sure enough, just after arriving at work, he vomited on my office carpet. Anyway, unbeknownst to me, someone else brought their Groodle in and, the second I walked around the corner into the main office area, their Groodle saw mine. They had tied theirs to their office desk, so it couldn't wander, but the moment their dog saw mine, it jolted forwards, yanking their desk free and dragging it across the room, knocking things flying. To solve this, they unclipped their 60 kilograms dog, who now races under desks, ripping out power cables and knocking bins everywhere, before smashing into me, and my dog, knocking me over and resulting in my dog now also being free. The two fly through the workplace like a giant ball of white, fluffy insanity, knocking things over everywhere and making an enormous noise. To try to calm him down, I take him for a walk to a nearby cafe, to get a coffee and give him a chance to go to the toilet and get some energy out of his system. After he went number 1 on some grass for what felt like 5 minutes, I decided he'd be safe enough to risk taking into the cafe, but I'm not into gambling. I didn't want him in there long enough to cause more chaos, so I called out my order from the door and just went inside long enough to pay for the coffee. That was long enough. In the few seconds it took for me to tap my watch to pay, he unloaded the most ludicrously large diarrhea by the entrance to the cafe. Just absolute slops, the consistency of half-thawed pumpkin soup. At this stage, it's important to note that the café had a small, outside dining area, right by the door. People sitting there enjoying a family brunch. Now treated to the worst my dog has to offer. Of course, I am apologizing profusely and I untie the doggy poo bag tied to my dog's leg and start trying to, using the bag inverted like a glove, scrape this horrid mess up from the concrete. Which is an absolutely fruitless endeavor, of course, because it's just a giant pool of gelatinous liquid. Now, I don't know about you, but I am not really the biggest fan of dog diarrhea. In fact, I'd say I'm utterly repulsed by it. So much so I start uncontrollably retching. Try to imagine the scene. I'm on my knees on the cafe entrance, one hand in a plastic bag trying to scrape up the most unpleasant pumpkin soup imaginable and the other, holding onto a dog who's now trying to yank me towards the nearest table, which is barely a meter away, so he can raid these poor people's food. All the while, I'm loudly retching, continually, and because of the retching, tears are streaming down my face so hard I can no longer see. But because of the situation both my hands are in, I can't even try to wipe my eyes. I took him back to the office and tried to sit through a Zoom meeting with people in Sydney, but he spent the entire time hurling himself at my door and screaming, like he was being murdered, because he wanted to go play with the other dogs, again, so I had to stay on mute. Suffice to say, I took my dog home earlier than planned. So even though the rain had now come in, I trudged back to the car in a torrential downpour, and climbed in completely soaked. I was done with my dog for the day. But he wasn't done with me. Arriving home, I immediately noticed a parcel by the front door. So after unloading the car and dog, I walked him to the door and struggled to unlock it, between his continual tugging on the lead, as he tried to run to the park, and the several bags I was carrying. And while I'm struggling to unlock the door, this darling dog leans over and vomits directly on the parcel. All the while, he's been as happy as can be. Looking around with his big, clueless, happy face, having the time of his life. I have no plans to take him to work again. Edit. I should have made clear he's been to my office multiple times in the past and been okay. He's a good boy. It was combination of the other Groodle puppy being there and also going nuts, and him not getting much exercise for a few weeks that just turned his brain off, leading to massive overexcitement. Too long did not read. I took my dog to work, he trashed the office, had diarrhea in a cafe and vomited on a parcel. Sounds like he needs some serious training. I'm laughing in the most understanding puppy parent to puppy parent way possible. And wishing you had video of the playing, because that must have been the most adorable chaos. Lol. I am so sorry your day was so hard. Lol. Your office should rethink its policy. It sounds like a detriment to bring an out-of-control puppy to work with you. Even if it was for his benefit, not yours, you still made all your coworkers deal with the chaos. Not to mention the coffee shop workers, patrons who were just trying to have a nice day. Uncontrolled dogs do not belong in public places. If you knew he gets carsick every time you drive him, then why did you take him to work? Why are you taking a puppy that is very clearly not house-trained to work? I want to feel sorry for you, but you're an asshole. Lots of people bring dogs to work very successfully, but there needs to be rules, standards for when it is allowed. There are a couple of people in my office who will have their dog in once or twice a week and it goes fine. The dog mostly just chills under their desk all day. Mine are not quite there yet, but I've had to bring them on occasion, usually because they're testing the building fire alarm system or something at home. So they will chill in their portable kennels, either in my office or out on the patio. Dog tax?